last, several seconds, debating whether the music or starting to huddle was the most important thing to do. And jamming won that situational debate. So hello, great rising on Trajectory Tuesday. Super grateful to be hanging out with all of y'all, lovely people. Some of us, we've literally been on the phone since 7 a.m. this morning, and there is a lot of momentum, growth, and a lot of things happening in the world of Unblinded. So on Trajectory Tuesday, as we give all of us a second to just get here, it's like the last month of 2020. Like, whoa, it's the last month of 2020. Now, did you think you were going to be here in January? Like, did you think that you were going to be here today, December 1st, 2020, in January? I hadn't even been thinking about this till I got on the call and I got present to it, as I always figure out what day it is moments before I say what day it is. It's like the last month of 2020. And when you want to talk about trajectory, where did you believe your trajectory was in January of 2020 versus where it is now? And now reflect and listen. There's no hiding that we all had a lot of innovating, shifting, a lot of changing, adapting to do this year. But let me tell you, it was about those micro trajectory shifts, some of them that were massive. For example, Unblinded was going to be primarily a very heavy in-person event-driven company. And in March, that went away. It didn't exist. And out of a phone call and Sean's genius came the real raw, which is the greatest experiential hack in sales training and marketing ever. And that one, I think it was an 8 a.m. phone call at the time, that one 8 a.m. phone call changed the entire trajectory of Unblinded. To bring it back even further is November 2000, I believe, 19, right? Yeah. Same thing. It was a 7 a.m. call. And Sean's like, let's do a huddle. Let's just do a huddle at 8:30 every day, Monday through Friday. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. Let's just do a huddle. And now we're here. And how many of us, I'll speak for me, I look forward to this being part of my day. I can't even envision. I'm sure one day, who knows, I'm most likely, if all goes according to plan, a lot of us here will grow and outscale this huddle and be building our own. Let's not get into that conversation. Point being, it was that one conversation to do a huddle that changed the trajectory of Unblinded. It was that one conversation to do a real raw that changed the trajectory of Unblinded. Mr. Callaghy, what's cooking, man?
What is present for me is how much fun it is and how grateful I am to be a part of this ecosystem. Even getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning at West, I honor, oh my goodness, Lorelei, Jacqueline's, Michelle, and their 4 a.m.-ness on the West Coast for the 7 a.m. calls, or for the 8:30 calls to up to 5:30. Incredible job, guys. Whenever I'm out West, I am present to that dynamic. Out here, very grateful to Chris Crone for his Omni program. And for those that have been confused at times of my statements around digital marketing, I'm certainly not opposed to leveraging, but I'm present to a formula for the acceleration amplification of things. So very excited to be out here and ready to rock and roll in that space. And what I'm present to is your greatness and your ability to change your trajectory. You're great whether or not you change your trajectory, right? We're always, for those that are newer, we're never saying that anybody should want anything more. We're saying, though, that for most people, there is that wanting. And we live in this sort of, as Mr. Miyagi for fun said, the Daniel on, like left side of the road, okay, right side of the road, okay, middle of the road equals, meaning like brokenness. So for a lot of folks, we sort of sit in the space endlessly of dabbling towards the outcomes that we desire more of. And I think everybody would be great to just say, you know what? I am so grateful. I'm so thrilled that this is like what my life is going to be. I'm grateful for the hours that I work. I'm grateful for the income I have. And, I'm going to sit and enjoy it and appreciate every single part of it. And even those dynamics of it that are monotonous, and stay there. There's absolutely not even remotely anything wrong with that. I would, rearrange and reorder growth Some of the Greek philosophers have said there's no way to live better than seeking to become still better than we are. I don't know that that's necessarily true, although I tend to believe there's a lot of magic in growth for sure. But we're not here to tell anybody that they should want anything more, and certainly not say that we shouldn't be immensely and wildly grateful for what we have and where we are. At the same time, we do say there's a formula that's applying, that's dictating your money, time, and magic. And our self-mastery, limited and impacted by fear of failure, fear of rejection, causes our ego to delete, dilute, and distort mechanisms of our learning or modeling that prevent us from changing that trajectory on this Trajectory Tuesday. So it's all good. And it's not like an energy of rightness, wrongness, good and bad. Like, you're bad if you're not doing this. Like, there's something wrong with you. You're wrong if you're not accelerating, striving. It's no, like, that's suboptimal, I think, to feel that way. It's that there's a pathway, and it's difficult and hard. Like, there's marathon training. If you want to run a marathon, if you want to run a 5K, there's training a 10K. And if you don't engage in the training, you're going to have a different performance in that 5 or 10K, and you may not complete it. And in the beginning, that training is going to not feel great physically. It's going to cause some pain. We can reframe how we associate to it. See David Goggins, ... and Can't Hurt Me and all of his work, but there's still pain associated, and that's all we're talking about in Trajectory Tuesday. So just having a little bit of fun, lightening the mood. It's like, question, where have you done an incredible job of following a formula, a recipe? Maybe you learned to play tennis and you did what you were told in the macro instructions. Maybe it was in singing lessons that you took. Maybe it was in your athletic career. Maybe it was sitting in the space of a recipe that you followed in the kitchen. Maybe you're fantastic, because I'm definitely not fantastic at this, at fixing things. And so you know how to follow directions. You know how things work. You know how to build a deck. You know how to hammer a nail. You know how to see a room and think of how you can innovate, change it, optimize it. All that's a formula. No, I'm creative. Creative's a formula. Creative's a formula. The first thought that comes into your mind, right? You do something with it. And the next thought, how you look and analyze and process, creativity is a formula. The key messaging on this Trajectory Tuesday, which we talked about in the 7 a.m. coaching call this morning, is that when we say that your growth and acceleration is nonlinear, we mean in the micro level. On the macro level, there's a formula. There's process, influence, and self-mastery. That's quite linear. Its mechanism of being followed, its innovations don't necessarily follow linear paths. What does all that mean? It means that if we say, hey, stages and microphones are powerful, and these are the types of stages and microphones that you'd want to have, maybe it's speaking in front of organizations with people with a certain level of financial resources, if you're going to raise money for charity. That's phenomenal, but maybe you're not able to assemble that audience with the first person you thought, with John. And maybe instead it's with Mary and Susie. Or maybe it's with Steve's friend Joe, who you've never met before. That's what I mean by nonlinear. It may not be the people that you think. It may not be the exact stage that you perceive, but there is the ecosystem. It's ecosystem merging. They're out there. Excuse me. Speaking engagement, sales, meetings, and sales. That's it. And so for a little fun and magical drop in, Adam Gugino, you out there, brother?
Yes, I am.
All right. So this is Adam's birthday week, by the way. So we're going to be consistently sharing happy birthday messages to Adam since we've begun the month of December. Adam, we're going to call this at least the first part of the month, your birthday, half month. So congratulations on your upcoming birthday. And I want to acknowledge you for an incredible month of November and ask folks to check in on where was your month of November? How did you do in elevating your ecosystems, your speaking engagements, your sales meetings, your sales? How did all that come together for you, during this month? And so, Adam, I'll ask, how'd it go for you? How was that month of November?
We went into the month of November with an intention to create a November to remember. My previous role in the organization that I had left, it happened to be a magical months of comebacks and the last hour, getting the agreements to put us over the top, and going into this month with this team, and we were really poised for something special. And we set the intention right away that we were going to create a November to remember. And it was not going to be because of an agreement on the last month, which we did get, by the way. But overall, there were records broken in every dimension, every part of the business, from a growth perspective, and a meeting perspective, a sales perspective. And it was an unbelievable November to remember. And I will say, my most memorable of all time. Some of my previous employees might have got upset if they heard that, but this one was different. They all were incredible. I mean, the celebrations, those moments, it's hard to compare. But with this team and this family and this community, I don't think it could have gotten much better than this November.
Amazing. Adam, and everybody, that wasn't because Adam worked harder. He works hard. It's because he and Fernando and the entire team, and with the help of so many of you, and thank you, have so consistently risen in mastery, self-process and influence, and micro distinctions just compounding. And this December, which would ordinarily be a slower month, for many conceptually, I have a feeling is going to be every bit as strong as we go into December and rocketing forward. And that's what we want to share with you. Share those distinctions, share those innovations, accelerations of how this all comes together, and create just a level of normalcy with our proximity together of what we do and how we do it together. So that's where we're at Trajectory Tuesday. The singular question is, what are you committed to for the month of December? What are you committed to in ecosystem merging, speak engagement, sales, meeting sales? And if it's like, hey, let's ask a different question. Well, there is no different question to ask, because that's the space of your acceleration. And the only thing you're going to find by asking different questions is distraction, deletion, dilution, distortion, the D's that we do not want. Dropping in on something I'm incredibly grateful for. I cannot thank everybody here enough for the love, thought, prayers, offers of help, support, our incredible functional medicine family overall, Dr. Sean Kandamori, to Roger Sahori, to naming names so I'm going to end up leaving people out. I forget, Dr. Vin, Dr. Shapiro, who I met through the Tony world, and so many other of you amazing people have offered solutions, help, support, thoughts, care, prayers, energy, all of you. And my dad, who was not doing well at all, took another incredible and miraculous turn and was completely out of his being not aware, not present. And he had, massive, he was just completely not there, mentally. And he's 100% back. So I pray it holds. I believe it'll hold. And thank you for all the care and support. It has been one wild roller coaster ride, with what he's been going through. So thank you all. Fernando, final for today.
Final for today, AG. Looking forward to celebrating this month with you. And as we say, all scoreboards are back to zero. So it is exciting to be back on the first, co-creating this with all you magical folks. I am excited as I feel yet another, we've been saying this since January. It feels like the beginning of the beginning of the beginning again, and we are yet at another tipping point, and we have just begun. And it's December 1st, and I'm excited to see what the trajectory of this movement looks like in 30 days as we commit and continue to commit to our rise in mastery and integrity-based human influence. And that's all on Trajectory Tuesday.
Awesome. Everybody, love you guys. Have an incredible day. December 12th, we'll have a little bit of fun for Adam's birthday virtually. So we'll talk more about that. December 12th, we'll do a couple different things, but have some fun. Have an amazing Trajectory Tuesday. It's your life. It's your world. It's your time. It's all of your decisions. Choosing fun and choosing wisdom. Love you guys.